I had it.
You got to turn the button on.
I did.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Three Borders Sports Network. I'm Joe Schreiner, joined here by Brian Watson. Welcome, everybody, to the Three Borders Sports Network Giants Coaches Show, brought to you by Red River Communications. Also, welcome to those watching on Channel 125 on Red River Communications Cable Channel 125, strictly devoted to Three Borders Sports Network. That's kind of cool.
Our own channel.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
3BSN.
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds good. So there we are. Again, welcome everybody here to the Coaches Show. And we're joined now by a head coach of the... Oh, by the way, I was going to mention to you, did you see what I did with the front down here?
I didn't see what you did.
I got BW down there.
There we go.
How about that?
I like that.
Stands for
I like that.
Brian Watson?
Well, it's not what it stands for,
okay.
but I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
I thought maybe you'd like the decorating touch.
I did. Now all we need is get some buffalo wings or something in here. And then it'll be all right.
All right, we're joined now by head coach of the Huskies boys basketball team, Jeff Ralph. Jeff, thanks for coming in on a nice evening.
Yeah, it's really nice out there tonight.
Yeah,
30 degrees still.
Yeah, and we were just talking off air about the Friday situation, and a lot of snow coming in on Friday, so we'll see what happens there, and we'll talk about that when we get to the West Fargo game here that's coming up next on the slate for you. But boy, last Thursday it was a doubleheader out in Valley City, and both squads were victorious there, and we'll talk to Coach Watson a little bit later, but the boys came away with their first win. It was a good deal for the boys.
You know, we were down, I think, 23 at one point in that game, but I really thought we're in the game. We just got to make a basket once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's been kind of our thing all year. We haven't scored enough, but we had good shots. Our timing was a little off with a couple of cuts against their zone. But we thought it was good. And then, the funny thing everybody was asking about, what was the halftime speech like? Is there some big? And well, there's a gym right next to the locker room, and we went in the gym and we walked through where we're supposed to be against the zone and what we want to see and how we want to respond to that. And the kids just, we were already on a run. We were on a 7-2 run to end the half. And then I think it was about maybe a 23-5 run to start the second half, and it was so good to see the kids play with that energy and that excitement and knock down some shots and we made plays, but making plays starts with making some shots.
Yep.
And we got some stops. We rebounded the basketball, and I really thought the boys just had a good effort on both ends, especially in the second half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you and I had text after the game that night, and I congratulated you on your win, and you told me about the two runs that the team had, and when I looked at the stat sheet here and what I saw on the internet, there was basically the tale of two halves. I mean, you were down 18 at halftime, but like you said, you finished the half with a run, and you started out the second half with another run, and you outscored them almost exactly the same the way it was in the first half, just vice versa.
Yep, and then it was a matter of just us, once we got the lead, and we did lose it once, but it was a matter of us just playing now. I mean, you knew it was going to be a tight game after that. We weren't going to run away from them. Mm-hmm. But it was a matter of us just making plays down the stretch, and we had we had, I think, 5 big threes from Caden Hoggart in the second half, but we had other guys make some plays. We made free throws in the game.
Yeah.
It's been another thing we just haven't done. And 2 of our losses, South and Devil's Lake, we make free throws, we win the game, and that was big. Everybody talked about the 15 points Caden Hoggart made from the 3-point line, which were huge.
Yeah.
But those 15 free throws we made out of 19 were just as big as the 5 threes.
And that's what I was looking at, too. I underlined those when I saw the stats there. I mean, 48% field goal shooting. That's nearly 50%, obviously.
Yep.
So pretty darn good field goal shooting by the team. And even your three-pointers, you were at, 39, 40%.
Yep. We shot really well from the 3-point line. Caden was 5 of 10. Should I do the stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
We had Caden 5 of 10 and 5 of 6 from the free throw line, had 22 points. Blake Schaefer was 2 of 5 from 3. 2 of 4 from the foul line, had 14 points. Ethan Mannock had 12 points. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line, along with 8 rebounds. Caden Kappas had 11 points. So they're, finally 4 guys in double figures,
That's
which
what
is,
you want, yeah.
is big. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. I just can't talk about how Caden has just been such a calming influence, and I know he was disappointed last night.
Yeah.
Didn't score, but when
Yeah.
you look at everything else he did in the game, he starts out on craft. I mean,
Yeah.
Grammy sakes, he's up against it right away. But
Yeah.
he's been such a solid player for us, and we got to get him scoring. But
Yeah.
he that 11 points out of him was really good to see. We had Jackson Cluton with 6 points and 6 rebounds. Jaden King with 6 points and 3 rebounds. Riley Timian had 1 point, and Jacob DeReese had a rebound. So we had a good effort out of our post guys at Valley, which was really good to see. It's a piece we've been missing. And, to shoot 15 of 18 for 78%, and then 7 of 8 from the 3 for 38%. That's pretty good shooting for us, and just a great road win.
It was.
I people told me some dumb thing. They were saying this one's over, and apparently the guy on doing the radio said, well, they're celebrating like, well, we're high school kids and we finally won a game and they should
right.
be excited. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we're not going to apologize for
Nope.
celebrating after a win, and
Nope.
and they shouldn't. So I was really proud of the kids for just battling back. And you know what? When you're down 23 sometimes, it's hard to even think about fighting back, and
Yep.
these kids really did that.
So congratulations on the win, Coach, and to the boys too as well watching here tonight, and appreciate you guys' effort. And again, now let's just fast forward to last night in the game against Shanley, and Shanley was coming in 4-4. They're in the middle of the pack in the EDC. You knew they were probably a good squad. You talked about Connor Kraft a little bit and how Caden Kappas had to try and handle him defensively to start with. But again, you battled back. I mean, you pulled, and I'm fast forwarding now to the end of the game. You were down 6 with a minute and a half to go, and
With
I
the
thought,
ball.
yeah, with the ball, and I thought, man, we got a shot here.
Yep, and there again, it's just a matter of sticking with it and making a run. And runs are hard to come by for us sometimes, but we managed somehow to stay down 6. I should have had our shooting percentage for the first half. I don't think it was very good.
I don't think it was either.
And I don't think we got a lot of shots either. We only took 51 shots in the game.
Sure.
And there were only that many possessions, so it was really a low possession game. But both teams kind of threw the ball away. Both teams kind of stumbled around a little bit, and for us that kept us in the game. They had some opportunities they missed, and they didn't shoot it very good from the foul line, which was good for us. But we were in the ball game, and to be down 6 at half, and we, as coaches, talked about how we had what we wanted in the half. We just gotta cut a little better and screen a little better and just a little better timing on some stuff, which we've been struggling with.
Yeah.
But if we can do that in the second half, we have an opportunity to cut into it. And I think they went up maybe 17 or 15 at one time.
Yeah, easy.
And then bang, we had it down at 2 minutes to go with 6 and with the ball. And I think we were in transition twice down 6 and just couldn't get we had Ethan on one going. It was really contested hard and followed it up. And then we had Caden on a break too, and just couldn't get him to fall. But we battled, and they're a good basketball team. I don't think they've found their identity yet, but they're a really good basketball team, and I thought we gave them everything they wanted. I thought we had every chance we had or could ask for in the final 2 minutes to win the game, especially after being down 17.
Yeah, and one thing that I also noticed last night, Coach, and I did, obviously called the game, but I did call Riley Timian's name a lot last night, and I think we should give a little credit to him too as well. That boy takes up some space down low. He bodied up on Kraft and some of the other players down there too, and there was one play I remember, it was an out of bounds play. He just had his body in the right position, and I forget who it was got the rebound for. It might have been Hakeem. Got the rebound for Shanley, and he was standing out of bounds just because Riley Timian bodied him up that way.
Yep, and that's why Riley's in there.
Yep.
He gets more offensive rebounds individually than everybody else does in a practice. He gets more by himself. And, after watching that, especially the last couple of weeks, and Coach came to me saying, you know what, we got to give Riley a shot here. He's doing some stuff. And just over the course of the last week, we've been watching him closer, and I feel good about him being in the game. He's going to catch the ball. If he gets his hands on it, nobody's going to take it away. And just that ability to carve out some space, and that ability to maybe give a bump and get some space to get a rebound, and he just has a knack for that.
Yep.
And I think he's 6'1" in the program, so he might not be 6'1", but he's probably close to that. But 6'1", and he had 4 points, but he had 7 huge rebounds for us last night. And him and Ethan, Ethan had 7 too. So there's a tie for leading rebounds, and that's for a kid who's played a little bit of varsity, but started his first game, and I thought didn't look like the game was too fast for him. And I think for Riley too, Riley's a good shooter. He, JV wise, he's been one of their best 3-point shooters, but the game is fast.
Yep.
And I think once he steps into that and starts to feel that better, and I even mentioned to Coach Caden tonight, Riley shot it better in practice tonight. So I think that's going to come for us. And there's just another weapon that we have.
Yep.
Whether he comes off the bench or starts, I think he'll start against West Fargo. He's just being solid. He's doing what we ask him to do. He's guarding people, and he's rebounding. And if you can rebound and knock down a 3, you can play.
A great job by Riley for sure. All right, Coach, talk about Caden Hoggart. I think I had him for 7 threes in my unofficial scorebook, just shooting the lights out on the 3.
About our only source of offense in the game, he had 23. Ethan had 11. 7 threes. I mean, you're on your way to the school record maybe, but you know what? He took maybe a couple. I think he got one blocked or whatever, but some of those were, and some of the other shots he took, he's taking because the shot clock's winding down.
Yep, that's
the
right.
one, I think the 1-3 he got blocked. He just had to shoot it.
Yep.
But you know what? The kid is confident, and we talked to him about getting your feet ready and being ready to shoot. And when his feet are square, he's going to knock down a shot.
Yep.
And we saw that at Valley. He doinked that first one in, he banked it in, and then it was 4 in a row. And last night, I thought every time he had his feet set, the ball was going in. And as a coach, when you watch a kid release it and you think, that's good, it's a good feeling for me, and I know for Caden. Caden was on fire there for a while for us. And in 2 games, he's been a huge source of offense for us when offense has really been a struggle. So, on the flip side of that, he gets 3 rebounds. But when we look at Ethan with 11, I thought Ethan was as good a post player last night as he's been all year.
Yep. Had a good game.
He had 11 points, he had 7 rebounds, but was demanding the ball in the post, was sitting down. And when we start going there, and we all say, come on, Ethan, let's go. Our perimeter guys got to get him the ball too. When he posts up and he's open, we got to get it to him. And so when we start doing that a little better, we're going to see just shots open up for everybody. And like I said, Caden Kappas was disappointed he didn't score last night, but he's not getting any open looks either. I mean, they're hard to come by. So if we can get that little bit of post play out of Ethan. Jaden King, I thought was really good around the mid post area last night. Had 8 rebounds, or had 8 points with 6 of 6 from the free throw line. When we start getting better, consistent play out of the post, then things are really going to open up for Caden and Caden Kappas and Blake on the perimeter, and then I think we're going to be a tougher team to deal with.
One other player I want to quick mention too that had my opinion had a good game was Jaden King coming off the bench. He was 6 for 6 from the stripe, had a field goal besides, but again gave you some good minutes last night.
Yeah, and he didn't play a lot in the second half. Kind of got lost in the shuffle with how we were lined up. But I've always thought a lefty kid underneath, they can kind of go that other way, and he's a long arm kid. Where we can get some stuff from him, and he needs to score. And I keep telling him, Jaden, we need you to score. You got to score when you're in, and we've seen that progression from him too, stepping up and playing in more varsity, and it's coming. But it's just, as impatient as anybody, I want it yesterday out of these guys, but we also understand it's a process too. So I thought he really played well for us, and we're going to need that going forward.
I think things are improving for the Husky boys, and I think good things are going to come here as we get closer to the end of the season. We start the second half through the gauntlet again, as you always refer to it as, starting out again now with West Fargo on Friday. They're coming in 6-2. You said they lost last night, I think?
They got beat by Red River at West Fargo last night.
At West Fargo.
That's a bit of a surprise, but Red River's a good team, but West Fargo is, when you're the state champ and you're back, you feel like you got something to do, and I think last night it was just a matter of Red River knocking down shots, and for us that's going to be big tomorrow. They'll just run at us and press us, and we're just going to have to get the ball in the open man and then go make a play. And we practiced tonight for about 20 minutes, 5-on-8, and we blocked out. We had 8 guys going to the offensive glass off of a free throw, and then just 8 guys running all over trapping, and it, if we can handle 8 guys, which we didn't handle good at times, which is pretty tough.
Yeah.
But if we can handle 8 guys, they're 5 guys. Just as long as we, keep our composure and get the ball where it needs to go, we'll be fine.
You ever done 5-on-8 there, Coach?
We put a little bit more than 8 on the floor. We put as many as we can when we're working against teams that can press. So we'll throw any leftovers that we have. We'll put them on the floor. So.
You got any questions for Coach?
I think he said more than he's letting on at halftime at Valley.
Oh, I bet he did.
Yeah, I think the walls might be bleeding over there. So
no comment.
We didn't even go in the locker room.
Yeah. I don't know. You're playing well, but you talked about being able to play well whether you win games or lose games. I think the last 2 games for you, you've been playing well. Won one of those, lost one of them, but definitely headed in the right direction.
They've both been a tale of 2 halves where we got to put 36 minutes together, and we're still waiting for that.
Right.
We've had two really good second halves. We need to play well in the first half and then come out with that. We had 37 or 35 points and 40 at Valley. I mean, that's what we need to score in a half. The 16 and 22, it makes it tough.
Yeah, it does.
Makes it tough to compete.
Yep.
All right, Coach, you got anything else?
Nope. Looking forward to Friday night.
We are, and we'll have that one on Three Borders Sports Network and also on Channel 125. For Coach Jeff Ralph, thanks again, Jeff, and we'll see you Friday night at the game. And then next Wednesday, we do not have a coach's show, so Brian and I got other duties with the park board, so we'll be at that. But again, thanks for coming in, Jeff, and I'll see you Friday night.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll be right back. Stephen Lipp is here, head coach of the Cowboys basketball team, coming up next, right after.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Better living begins at home, and Three Rivers Decorating in Wahpeton is your personal designing service. New flooring in your home can totally change its look and feel. Three Rivers Decorating has dozens of vinyl plank designs to choose from, along with carpet, tile, and linoleum. Whether it's updating your home's interior or retail space, Three Rivers Decorating has all of the latest styles and trends. They also offer free estimates. Give them a call today, 701-642-8454.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738.
The Wahpeton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wahpeton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wahpetondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI. Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
And welcome back to Three Borders Sports Network, the Giants Coaches Show, and it is powered by Red River Communications. Welcome everybody to our YouTube channel and also to Red River Communications channel 125 if you're watching at home on your cable channel tonight. We appreciate you doing that. And right now, along with myself, Brian Watson, we're joined here by head coach of the Cowboys, Stephen Lipp. Thank you for joining us, Stephen. Thanks for coming back.
Hey, as usual, thanks for having me, guys.
I think the other Wednesday night you had a little bit of car issues and some snow and some other issues going on, but a little warmer tonight, so you're able to make it. We appreciate you coming in.
Hey, yeah, thanks again, guys.
All right, thanks again. And okay, so let's talk about the Cowboy basketball squad here. I think obviously since the last time you weren't able to come in last week here. You got that win, and you probably don't have stats or anything from it, but the Battle Lake game that you won in a double overtime. How about that?
Yeah, that was a big one for us, big one for the guys, because, I mean, we've had a tough schedule here to start the season, and you know, we knew that was one that we were going to come in with a chance to really compete in that one. Came a little bit closer than we would have liked. No one I mean, I know from a fan perspective, double OT is fun, but I'll tell you what, from the coaching perspective, those double OT ones put a little gray hair.
I was just going to say, I see a few gray hairs coming in there, but that never happens to Brian, so he's always
yeah, you gotta have hair.
He's got to have hair to get gray, I guess. But yeah, okay, so the Cowboys came away with a nice win there. It was just before the Christmas break there, and congratulations on that. But then during the Christmas holiday, Coach, you went up to Moorhead and faced a couple of tough squads up there, and facing 4A Moorhead in your first game there. So some very, very stiff competition there.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but I mean, it really is a great opportunity for us to get to go against those larger schools, where they're going to have a little bit deeper lineups and maybe a few more and a lot more longer kids and athletes on the floor. So it gets us ready to play March basketball down the road. So no complaining there. Obviously, it'd be nice to be able to walk away with some wins in those games, but they are against tough opponents. Nice thing about that holiday tournament, it was like you said, we're playing some tough teams, but we had a great opportunity against Zimmerman. Played them tight throughout.
3-point loss was pretty good.
Didn't end up coming on the right side of that one, but we took steps towards playing the style of basketball that we're trying to achieve. When we came into the season, we thought the same things that we did last year we're going to fit with this crew, but with a whole new team across the board, we kind of had to move some puzzle pieces around and get guys in positions where they're more likely to succeed. And so we're changing our not our philosophy, but our style of play a little bit, and trying to slow things down a little bit, take care of the ball a little bit more, value the ball a little bit. And we, throughout that holiday tournament, we took some steps.
Against Zimmerman, it was a 3A school, and again, a 3-point loss. So again, a good showing there by the Cowboys. All right, then I think on January 4th, there it looks like you had a game against Morris that was postponed.
Correct.
All right, and then you traveled all the way down to Esco on Friday and took a loss down there. But again, I'm sure you saw some good things out of the boys, and looking forward to coming up to the Frazee game on tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got an exciting one. We're back to conference play, which is a blast because everyone knows that those HOL games, anything can happen any given night. I mean, everyone's coming ready to compete for those ones. With tomorrow's matchup, we can anticipate likely a little bit of zone from both sides, and a little bit of up pace from Frazee. They like to push the ball a little bit and play a high tempo game.
They're going to press?
Likely won't see any of that, but we're prepared for anything. Anything they might throw at us.
All right, and then again, just Coach, you and I talked about it off air here a little bit. Out of the 26 game schedule that you have, I only counted 5 games against other A opponents, and right now you're sitting 1-1 against A opponents with the win against Battle Lake, I believe, and then you lost the one to Park Christian, I believe, and otherwise, I mean, you're playing everything up above you a couple classes. And the other game that I should mention is against the Wahpeton Huskies, but you're playing up quite a bit, and it's good, like you just said a little bit ago, it's going to help you in March.
Absolutely, yeah, and the great thing about the guys we have this season is they're up for that challenge. They don't let that hold them back at all. Every single night they're chomping at the bit to get a shot at some of these higher ranked opponents.
Yep. And how you doing health wise, Coach? I know Landon Blofus is probably out for the season. How else we doing?
Well, really exciting. For the first time tomorrow against Frazee, we're going to have, excluding Landon, who's out for the season, we're going to have everyone back together for a game here. We've been battling so much with illness. We had Cam out with illness for the ESCO game. Mm-hmm. Snyder had a game stretch, a couple game stretches where he was ill. And then obviously Dallin's been out all season with his ankle, and he just played his first match against ESCO the other night, where it made a difference for sure. Having him on the floor, it's going to change some of the things we can do offensively. Now we can get a true, not a true post presence, but a big body inside. Whereas we had Sanchez playing inside previously, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing for us, but he's just not a true post player. He really thrives on the wing, where you can get out in space a little bit, get downhill on guys, and create for others. So now that we're going to be able to get Alex Sanchez in more of those situations, with Dallin being an inside presence for us, it should change things for us offensively a little bit.
That'll be good to see. I did catch a little bit of your practice the other night, and Dallin can take up some space underneath there, so he should get you some rebounds and some points underneath.
Absolutely, and the rebounding numbers, obviously we only have one game to compare with, but you take a look at the stats, having him back is going to help a lot.
Did you have some stats you wanted to go through there, Coach, or there were just some notes there that you maybe...
Yeah, just some notes. I got season stats here. I didn't take anything from a specific game, but right now our leading scorers, we have Alex Sanchez averaging 11.8, Jack Johnson with 8.3, and then we have Dallin, who had 8 in his debut, but only one game here. Mm-hmm. And then next up we got Gavin Snyder with 6 a game, and Colin Roberts pitching in 5 a game.
Okay, so scoring is pretty well spread out there among the guys, and I know Jack's having a good season for you too. So
yeah, absolutely, and not just in the scoring column. He's creating for others. He's he's getting 2.5 assists a game, and not only that, he's averaging 2 steals a game with about 4 deflections a game. So he's making a difference for us. Yeah, very quick.
All right, Coach, you got anything else for Coach before we let him go?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to really see him. I got a chance to see the double overtime game, but I think, we've always talked about it, and I think he brought up the difficulties of coaching high school basketball, of having to, change your, not philosophy, but kind of change your style with different groups that come up, and that can take a little bit of time, to get that cohesiveness throughout the season. But I think you don't look at the record, you're playing good competition, and I think come the end of the season, might be a team that surprises come playoff time, because people are going to look at their record and go, well, they haven't won very many games or whatever, but really they're playing stiff competition, and I think they're going to be a tough out at the end of the season.
I do too.
Get everybody back tonight. That's what you're looking for too. A fully healthy team, all your players that you can have at service. So I think they're headed in the right direction.
I agree, 100%. Coach, you got anything else you want to share?
No, thanks again for having me on, guys.
Appreciate it. We're not here next week, Coach. We got park board duties for Brian and I next week, so we won't be here next week. So we appreciate you coming in, and hopefully we'll see you on the 26th with a couple more wins under your belt.
Absolutely.
All right, head coach of the Cowboys basketball team, Stephen Lipp. Coming up next, we got Ryan Brandt of the BW Storm wrestling team coming up next.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
The Wahpeton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wahpeton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wahpetondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
Superior Builders in Breckenridge specializes in post-frame buildings with 25 years worth of knowledge and experience in the post-frame industry. Licensed and insured, Superior Builders offers pre-engineered commercial buildings, farm shops, hobby buildings, and storage buildings. Superior Builders also offers a 40-year paint warranty and lifetime column warranty. Superior Builders in Breckenridge, building your dream to last. 701-238-7740. That's 701-238-7740.
OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Three Borders Sports Network Giants Coaches Show here, powered by Red River Communications and Channel 125 on their cable. Channel 125, dedicated strictly to Three Borders Sports Network.
All your local area sports.
There we are.
There you go.
So if you got a chance there to get Red River Communications cable, we'll find us on Channel 125 and able to watch it down in the man cave, and got it all over the house now at my place.
I don't have a man cave.
Oh, you don't have a man cave
No.
yet. Hey, we got to give a shout out to Chad Affield. Chad was kind enough to help me carry out the equipment last night after the Breckenridge game. I went over there and took everything down. And
You slip him a 5?
I did not.
Good.
I just said thanks, Chad. I did not, but he did offer, and I know we're still a week and a half away from it, but he did offer to help technically with the Rec Wap basketball game.
Maybe we'll get him to produce.
Yeah,
How about that?
we'll do that. He said he'd do anything we asked.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we might have to slip him $5.
Yeah, maybe. We don't get paid, so he doesn't get paid.
That's right. All right, we're joined now by head coach of the BW Storm wrestling team. That is none other than Ryan Brandt. And Ryan, last time we had a coach's show, you couldn't make her down, and Hunter McCall came in and stood in for you and did a good job. But glad to have you back, man.
Yes, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. All right, Hunter previewed the Bismarck Rotary Tournament for us last week. And you went out to Bismarck, spent a couple days in a big tournament, some out-of-state teams from Montana, I understand.
Yep.
South Dakota.
Yep.
So some tough teams showed up for this one, a big event.
Yeah, I mean, the top 3 teams that ended up being at Rotary, Sidney, Montana took 3rd, Rapid City, Stevens took 2nd, and Watertown, South Dakota took 1st.
Wow, so all out of state.
All top 3 teams were all out of state teams
Wow.
that came there. So it was a really good look for our team as far as like where do we match up with some of these really good schools. And we kind of had I would say a down week. We didn't wrestle to what I thought our potential was going into that tournament.
Okay.
But it was really good because now how we use it is I like to say that the Rotary's tougher than the state tournament for North Dakota. So the kids at least get an idea of what it looks like wrestling under those big lights that is in the Civic Center there, and all the fans that are around there and all the other matches going on. It kind of gives them that kind of warm-up feel to when we do get to state and get to the Fargo Dome.
And I think Hunter and I talked about that last week too, is that some of these guys, from Breckenridge that have joined the team this year, it was probably a whole new feeling for them coming into this. So it was a good exposure for them as well.
Yes, it was.
A couple guys did very well out there.
Yep, Aiden Ruddy took 6th place. He had to battle some big adversity right away in his first day. He wrestled his first round. He was up beating the kid, and then the kid ended up throwing him to his back, and ended up winning by 3 points, I believe, in that match. But he ended up having to get off his back, and he came off that match and was just like, I don't feel like myself today. So first day, he's already not feeling great on how he's wrestling, so he has to go out there and just battle to try to survive that day. He ended up facing number 1 kid in the state the next round, got beat by him. And then he ended up facing a kid from Watertown, who he found out was like really pretty decent in South Dakota, and the kid was up 7-1 on Aiden going into the second period. So Aiden, typically not a very offensive wrestler, kind of had to dig into his bag of tricks and kind of had to go offensive with this kid and ended up taking him down, reversing him, getting some near fall here and there. And by 15 seconds left in the third period, all of a sudden it's 10-10. Aiden kind of closed the gap, and the other kid you could tell was just looking to go to overtime with Aiden. And Aiden hooked up a nice tilt and got a quick cheap 3 points out of it, and ended up winning the match in the last couple seconds.
Exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
That was
very
fun
exciting.
for the fans, yeah.
Yeah, and then the second day he came out and he said right away in the morning, he said he felt better. And he wrestled really tough on the second day. He ran into a kid from Cheyenne who he's now wrestled 4 times, who is ranked, I believe, 6th now in the state, and ended up beating him again. And then he ran into the number 2 kid in the state the next round, lost a tough 1-0 match to him, and then ended up having to wrestle Tyler Porter from West Fargo, who's probably the number 3 kid now in state at 152.
Okay.
So, he wrestled everybody besides the number 5 kid in the state of North Dakota at this tournament. And he's sitting at number 4 in the state, which is a pretty good spot for him to be sitting at. He's wrestled really tough against everybody that's ahead of him, and there's not a kid ahead of him right now that I don't think he can't beat.
Okay.
So that sets him up really nicely for state.
Yep.
And their other one that placed was Jackson Burchell. He took 8th. He came into the tournament seated 2nd. He ran into some pretty good kids. There was a kid from Williston that, stopped his main takedown, and Jackson just kind of struggled with being able to get to another takedown on the kid, and kind of got down by some points to where he had to start turning into some desperation stuff. And I know Jackson would agree with like what me and Coach McCall would say, and say it wasn't his best tournament. He definitely came out a little flat-footed and and the other kids came out a little bit more aggressive toward him, and then he had to wrestle a kid from Watertown right away on the second day. And that kid was all of 220 and probably 6% body fat that he had to wrestle.
Wow.
So, he was a full 220-pounder. But, this is good for Jackson because he has beaten a lot of kids that are ranked in the state of North Dakota. But it kind of gives him maybe a little humbling thing because maybe he was riding a little higher and kind of maybe overlooking some people. Because he definitely even admitted he got caught watching brackets, is what we like to call it. You look on the bracket and you see a kid that's maybe a 500 wrestler, and you think you're ranked 2nd in the state, you think you're just going to go out there and wipe the floor with them, and then all of a sudden you realize pretty quick, that's not going to happen.
Reality sets in.
Yeah. So, he got caught bracket watching, and we talked about that. We just talked to him after. We were like, hey, we just can't be looking at that stuff. ignore it. Doesn't matter. Anybody can be beat in this sport. And then out there also, we had Hunter Owens. He won a match out there. Coleman Barth won a match. Logan Schwartz and Miles Hinckley all won at least one match out there this weekend for us. Hunter ended up beating the first kid he wrestled 10-5, I believe. And then that kid ended up coming back and placing in the tournament.
Wow.
And Hunter got beat out.
Wow.
So it really does all matter about the draw and how you wrestle, because, I mean, he's another one that wrestled a really good first match and then kind of ran into a really good kid from Cheyenne, second round, and then third round kind of, you could tell he just seemed like he was tired. Just didn't seem like he was himself out there anymore. And then it was good. Coleman, one of the biggest tournament Coleman's probably been to. He was a first-year kid last year during COVID when all we had was wrestling duels.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So this year's kind of been even actually like a first-year for him again, going to all these tournaments and trying to understand all that. Logan Schwartz he's been improving quite a bit this year for us. Every time he goes out there, he improves. He looks better every time he wrestles for us. So that's nice to see. And then Miles Hinckley's one of our really young freshmen that we have really high hopes for. He's kind of a scrappy scrambler type kid. He has the size, the build, and the look to be one heck of a wrestler. But now we just got to tie in the experience for him so he can get to that stage.
Yep. Okay, so the Rotary tournament was big last weekend. We don't have to talk about this a lot, but you got stuck in the weather, I hear, on Saturday. Had to spend Saturday night and come home Sunday.
Yeah.
But tough way to spend the weekend, I guess. But hopefully everything went well on the way home.
Yeah, the kids were good. In my 3 years coaching, and I've been blessed that I haven't had to deal with any issues in like a hotel room or anything like that.
That's
so
awesome.
That's been nice.
That is good.
I know just as much as me and the other coaches, kids also didn't really want to stay Saturday night in
No,
a
I'm
hotel
sure.
room, not sleep in their bed. But we made the best of it. We went and got food with them and stuff. And I know they played, like somebody brought up Xbox and they played on that on the last night there. We didn't really have a curfew for them. So they kind of just enjoyed being out there and whatnot.
Yep, kicking back as a kid. That's the way to go. All right, so then last night, now you had a triangular with Ortonville and OTC.
Yep.
Took away a couple of W's, and when you talk about offense, it looks like you scored some offensive points.
Yeah.
And, did well.
OTC's I haven't wrestled in Minnesota for a very long time, but traditionally OTC's usually a pretty tough team, and they did have quite a few tough guys. Aiden probably had to wrestle their best kid, and he had another, I don't think he ever gets a break when he wrestles a kid. He seems to always be running into these top kids, no matter if it's a duel or what. But
and he's probably seen him before when he was wrestling for Breckenridge. He's probably seen this kid before.
Yeah, so he wrestled this OTC kid. I believe he told me it was his sophomore year when he made it to state, qualified for state. He ended up beating him to make it to the finals in overtime. And then last year he wrestled and got beat by him, I think he said once, and then he had to beat him 2 more times. But he said it's always a close match against him. He's never a kid that he gets a lot of points on, and that kid's usually pretty offensive. So, fits Aiden's style because he's more of a defensive wrestler. But, he wrestled tough. Hunter came back yesterday and got 2 pins for us. Miles got a pin against OTC for us. Coleman got a pin for us against OTC. Bryce and Wyatt both got wins, and Jackson got a win as well against OTC. So we still thought at the end of that duel, even like that we're still not quite back to where we were before we went on break, but we are improving. And then when we wrestled Ortonville, I mean, they got 6 points, but the only 6 points they received from us was because we didn't have a kid there.
Oh,
so they're a very young team. They only had 7 kids weigh in, so I mean. That's kind of like what, Breckenridge and Wapton we've kind of dealt with in the past. It's like you walk into a gym, you got 7 kids, and you're just like, well, we know we can't win the duel probably unless something magical happens here. But, they did have a couple kids, who wrestled really tough. Bryce had to win a tough match against probably their best wrestler. Riley got a pin at 113 for us. Hunter got a pin at 145 against probably one of their better wrestlers that they have. We sent Chase Marsh out at 182 for his first varsity match, and he got a pin for us out there. Logan Schwartz got another pin for us. So it was all around a pretty good match. I mean, every match we ended up wrestling, we won against Ortonville, so that was nice to see out of our kids.
all right. So then it was a good triangular for you yesterday, and then tomorrow now you're going to keep the boys busy, and you head up to Fargo North for a duel up there. And Fargo North just sitting ahead of you a little bit in the standings there. They're just 2 games out of first place. You're 2.5, or on record-wise, I should say, and you're taking on Fargo North. So what do you expect to see tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, North is, they have a pretty good lineup. I've been telling my kids, I'm like, on paper in wrestling, it looks completely different than like basketball or football and like that. On paper in wrestling, you're like, okay, if neither kid's ranked, it's a toss-up match. You never know what you're going to get out there. And like, we don't have too many guys ranked, and they don't have too many guys ranked. So on paper, it looks like a lot of toss-up matches. And I told them, like, we got to come ready to wrestle against North. If we don't, they'll beat us tomorrow. We can't take any matches off against them. They have 3 or 4 really solid kids in there that are the big point getters, and they're not at the weights that our point getters are at. So we take our 3 or 4 point getters against their 3 or 4 point getters. Well, now we are left with the rest of the team. Yep. We're going to see who's middle class that we consider either not giving up pins or just getting close wins for us. We're going to see which side kind of steps up there. But should be a really good close duel because they've been wrestling tough this year, and we've been to a couple tournaments with them, but we haven't really matched up with them at any tournaments. Okay. So realistically, we're going off of who they've wrestled compared to who we've wrestled in matches and stuff.
It'd be good to be able to gain a game on them here and move ahead in the standings, because I think you need to get into the top 4 of the EDC to make the state duels, correct?
Yeah. We have to finish top 4 at the end of the year, and with that Davies South duel moving back to the 1st of February now, we get to kind of clear the way a little bit more for us. We get a couple duels here then before them, which is good because I think that last duel is going to come down to us and Davies for that 4th spot.
All right. And then Saturday, Coach, we don't need to dwell on it, but again, you got another busy weekend again. You're heading up to Moorhead for a tournament.
Yeah, we're going up to Moorhead. I mean, it just seems like it's never ending where we have 2 or 3 things a week now. But yeah, we go up to Moorhead. The nice thing about going up there is, we only have 2 other teams from the EDC that are there.
Okay.
So we have a lot of brand new. I think there's 10 teams total there. We have a lot of brand new teams who we really haven't seen or haven't wrestled, and that's kind of nice, especially at this point. Especially when we don't want a lot of teams trying to scout our kids anymore. We've got them down to the weights that they're going to be wrestling finalized, but we don't want them to be able to see what our kids do. Especially like those Davies and like that Grand Forks Central. Those are 2 duels that we got to win, and those are 2 teams that are tough, and they're going to be close duels for us. So if we can get any advantage as far as that, we're going to need to take it for them.
There you go. A lot of coaching going on besides just throwing the boys out there. There's a lot of stuff in the background that's just crazy.
Kind of nice to not have open weights, or you be on the other side of that where you filled all your weights and you get some points from that. So
yeah, it was really nice.
All right, Coach, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, Ryan Brandt and the BW Storm wrestling team. Again, tomorrow night they're going up to Fargo North to take on North in a duel up there, and then Saturday to Moorhead for a tournament up there. So good luck to you and the boys, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ryan Brandt, BW Storm wrestling team coach here with us. Coming up next, we got assistant coach of the BW Blades boys hockey team, James Bass, standing on deck. We'll be right back.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
The Wapaton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wapaton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wapatondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I'll look back at all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back to Three Borders Sports Network. The Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications, Channel 125. We are here live in downtown Wahpeton tonight from the Red River Communications studios, and now we are joined here, B-Dub, by assistant coach of the BW Blades, B-Dub, BW.
It's a theme.
See? And we're joined now by James Bass. James, thanks for joining us again tonight.
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, we had you last week due to the weather situation for Adam, and he couldn't make it in, and you substituted, and here you are again. So glad to have you back. At least you're not too scared of us yet.
No, a little better weather this time.
Yeah, a little better. All right, Coach, we're going to talk about the Saturday game. We had that on Three Borders Sports Network. We'll talk about that a little bit. You took on Becker Big Lake. We were hoping for a little bit better outcome. It was a 5-0 loss. Just the offensive struggles for the Blades in that game. We'll talk about last night's game here shortly, but just in that game, just a bit of an offensive struggle for you.
Yeah, Becker came out and they were flying. Just a lot faster than us, and all their lines were running quick.
Yep.
They're moving the puck around. We just couldn't get offense going. Just kind of got stuck in our zone. Noah Fife played in net and he bailed us out a few times, but we just couldn't get the puck moving for us. Yeah,
I think we're watching on the scoreboard. Obviously, that was the stat keeper for us, if you will. But I think there was 50-some shots on goal, and Noah obviously stopped 47 or 48 of them. So he had a good day in the net, but he just got pummeled.
With pucks. And that's been a common theme, 40 or 50 shots a game. And no matter how hot a goalie's playing, if they get 50 looks at you, they're going to sneak a few by. And they had some good chances. Yep. And I mean, we ended up with, I want to say, single digits for the shots.
Yeah, I don't think it was over 10.
So we just couldn't get out of the zone. Every time we brought it their zone, we kind of flung it on net, and they skated right back out. And, they wore us down. Our legs were getting tired defending, and they just stayed on us.
And so it was a 5-0 loss to Becker Big Lake and the Eagles. And it was a physical game, I guess, And Brian, I'm going to bring you back into this one here, if you would. We had even commented during the broadcast, Brian, that we thought that it was a more physical team than what we saw last year compared to. This is our first game this year for the boys.
Yeah, it just seemed like they were in their battle, and we made the comment that they were, not always the nail, but now they're starting to be the hammer a little bit more, and not getting pushed around, and just seem more aggressive, in the corners and things like that behind the net, and they just look like a different team, even though the scoring's not there.
Yeah.
And there's some things that happened in that game that kind of contribute to the goals that you gave up. You gave up 3 power play goals, and then one was shorthanded. So outside of that, it's just a 1-goal game. So for us, being our first game, it looked like a much improved hockey team.
I agree.
And I think that's just the kids getting older, finding experience, and we can go into the corners, and they're not as afraid as they were when they were sophomores and freshmen. And last night we played a physical team in Sauk Center, and we really came out hitting, and I was surprised because that's a team that's always physical down low. And I think they were kind of surprised to see we came out taking the body and really bringing it to them.
And it was there.
We played Sox Center at home last night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was at home last night.
Yeah, just after the girls' game.
That's right. That's correct. And there was a doubleheader for you guys last night with the girls. It was senior night. We'll talk about that later here in the close. But a 5-4 loss. So, I mean, when I saw that, I thought, now we're putting some shots to the goal and toward the net and trying to get some offense here. So, again, a good job by the boys then. So, we're seeing some improvement that way.
Yep, definitely. And just to kind of paint the picture of that game.
Yeah, go ahead.
First period, we're down 4-1.
Really?
We gave up 2 power play goals. Second period, I want to say was 1-1. So we're down 5-2 going into the third. And we actually scored 2. So it's 5-4. We've got a bunch of time left. And then we're in the penalty box.
Oh.
We have 2 penalties in the last 2 or 3 minutes. So just kind of got in the box at the wrong time and never got a chance to get a look at tying it up.
But you held them when they were on the power play if you had somebody in the penalty box then. So defense worked out well for you then.
Yeah, the penalty kill's getting a little better. And that's, again, kids getting experience being out there. We have a lot of kids that never played penalty kill in the varsity hockey game. So.
Yeah, who put, do you remember, I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you remember who put the puck in the net for you last night?
So we had Joe Brewer, Brecken Spinks, Jace Johansson, and then John Eaton, senior captain, got his first goal in a beautiful play on the power play. Got some really nice passes, and he just fired it in there from the blue line.
Good for him. And he's that was his first goal in his career.
And he's been a big part of our defensive core for the last several years. And he's good, but that was his first really good look. He's got a great shot, so we're trying to get him the puck. And
Brian and I remembered him from last year too, as a big physical player. So it's fun to watch him on the ice. So
and he's been a great captain for us. You know, he's a great presence in the locker room, and he's got just the perfect temperament. He can be loud when he needs to be, and he can be quiet and lead from the front when he needs to.
All right, so then next up, you're going to take on Kitson Central, I think, on Friday.
Yep.
They're coming in at 3-9, I think was the record that I saw that they had. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's the record.
About right.
That's the record I saw. So what are you looking for out of Kitson Central? I think you're traveling to Kitson.
Yep. So main thing there will just be bus legs. You know, that's a hard barn to play in. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's pretty dim, so we come in there after a 4-hour bus ride.
After the long bus ride.
Yeah. So for us, that's been a tough place to play. We typically play them a lot better at home. This year, I think they're a little down from what they usually are, but they're always a fast team and they're always pretty deep. So we just got to bring the game to them. I think if we play like we did at home, then we can do some good stuff.
I was really happy to see that again. I know I've said this once already, but I was really happy to see it was a 5-4 to see 4 points on the scoreboard. That's big for us right now. That's huge. So that's good. All right, Coach, you got anything else there for Coach Brian?
No, I mean, looking forward to doing more games. I mean, we got a few more to do, and looking forward to seeing the improvement.
Absolutely.
Do you know when we'll see you guys next?
I got it right here. If you got a second here, I'll take a look here. BW Boys Hockey, February 3rd. Kitchen Central's back here.
Okay.
I think that's when we got you next, and then we've got one more in there somewhere. Lake of the Woods game on February 12th. We have you. We got actually the girls' game here on tomorrow night. Right?
They play East Grand?
Tomorrow night, Yep.
So we got the girls tomorrow night.
Awesome.
So, so we got a couple more Blades games here coming up here in February. So no more in January, but more in February. All right. James, thank you for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for coming in. James Bass, assistant coach for the BW Blades hockey team, and had a good outing last night, and we wish him well coming up against Kitson Central. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
The Wahpeton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wahpeton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wapanendailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, drying, cleaning, and marketing your grain to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain has been saving farmers more money for years, rewarding them with reasonable prices on purchases and fair deals when they sell. Talk to Kelly or Tom about the many services they offer. Red River Grain in Breckenridge. Call 643-3738. OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I look back at all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back, everybody, to Three Borders Sports Network, the Giants Coaches Show, and it's powered by Red River Communications and Channel 125. We are live here from the studios at Red River Communications on beautiful Dakota Avenue and a warmer Dakota Avenue.
Yeah, a lot warmer than it's been, Joe. I mean, it's kind of nice to have it warm up a little bit. It was definitely cold. It was North Dakota cold there for a couple days.
Well, and usually about that time when it gets that cold, you're traveling to Devil's Lake, but at least you didn't have to do that.
It seems like every time there's a snowstorm or the temperatures drop, we're on the road. So, and that might be the case here on Friday. So, we'll see what happens.
All right, so we'll talk about Friday in a few minutes here, B-Dub, and right now we're joined by not only my partner in this project and also the producer here tonight, that's Brian Watson, and he's also head coach of the Lady Huskies basketball squad. And Brian, again, thanks for coming in and doing what you do, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Couldn't do it without you.
No problem. So.
All right, Brian, again, let's go back now to last week here on Thursday. It was a makeup game. You kind of did a doubleheader with the boys. You took the bus ride to Valley City, almost a 2-hour bus ride. And you came in and got the victory here against Valley City, and the girls must have played well for you.
Well, I mean, we played well enough to win the game. It was a little bit of an ugly game as far as shooting goes, but a win's a win, so we'll take it. But Valley, just a hard place to play. Cold bus ride over there. Talking about bus legs with Coach Bass there.
Yeah.
That was the fear. To go over there, and then you just kind of you get off to a slow start and things like that. And we actually got off to a slow start in the game. Had to take a timeout. I think it was 6-0. Had to take a timeout and just kind of regroup and kind of settle down. We go over things in film and we try and scout and give the girls what they're going to do when we give them certain looks. And they came out. We were in man, and we know that they like to set some back screens and they do some front cuts and things like that. And then they score on it right away. Go up 6-0. We take a timeout, talk about what we're supposed to be doing,
what we
saw, and try and make a few adjustments. And then we kind of settled down, made a couple shots early, and then we got some baskets in transition, which we thought we'd be able to kind of win that battle. Mm-hmm. And then it was just kind of a war of attrition. We had to try and stay with it and battle. And I think we were up 4 at half. And then we came out for the first time. I always talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half. And for the first time in a long time, we came out at the beginning of the second half, and we forced them to take a timeout. And we just had everything clicking there for a stretch. We've been waiting for our team to go on one of those runs where we score and we hold them, a 10-0 run or whatever it is. And we were able to stretch out that lead, got it to double digits, up to, I think, 13 before they took a timeout. And, I was just happy. The girls were happy. They were excited. We got what we needed defensively. And I thought maybe we were going to be able to stretch that thing out and send it over the 20 mark. But no, Valley, good team. They're going to stay with it. They got girls that play a lot of varsity experience on that side of the ball, and that they battled back and made it a bit of a game down the stretch there. We had to make some free throws there to kind of secure our win. We were up 3, and then Emma Bonches hit 2 free throws at the end there to give us a 5-point victory. And for us, we've got to be able to kind of stretch those leads out. We were fortunate enough to do it at the beginning of the half, but we've got to stretch that thing out and maybe try and go in coast mode at some time. But for us to be able to hang on there and come out of there with the win, I can't be displeased with it.
And an EDC win on the road is always big for you, Coach. And again, a huge win there, 51-46 over Valley City. You had a couple players in double digits. Lydia with 12, I've got, and Emma with 10, and 5 rebounds and 6 rebounds respectively. But then closely behind you had Scout, Ayana, and Taya all with 8 or 7 points.
Yeah, I mean we're getting what we need. We're getting a couple girls in double figures, and then we've got more girls that are right on the edge there.
Mm-hmm.
A couple baskets go in, and we got 5 girls in double figures. So, we're getting things at least in this game, we got what we needed on the offensive side of the ball. We did some good things defensively, and we continue to have different girls lead us in scoring, which is good. Because it just makes it difficult for teams to kind of key on one person. Yep. And we have a lot of girls that can score. We even have girls who haven't really scored a lot of points who even can put the ball in the basket. So it's just a matter of trying to get everybody going offensively on the same night. And I think if that happens, then we could see a high total, but then we've also got to get it done on the defensive side too.
One of the things that I noticed too in the stats that I looked at, Coach, was Taya. She had 8 rebounds in the Valley City game, and she also had 8 rebounds in the Shanley game last night too, as well. So
yeah, just doing what she needs to do. We need to have somebody who's going to get in there and kind of do some of that dirty work. Lydia, for a point guard can get a lot of rebounds, but we can't live off of that. We've got to have our post players get in there and get some boards and be able to battle inside. And Taya's doing a good job of that right now. Yep. We need those rebounds. We cannot afford to give teams extra looks at the basket, extra opportunities. And if our bigs, if you want to call them big, can prevent that and hit the glass hard, that really helps us. And Taya's doing a great job of that right now.
All right, so then you went to Shanley last night, and you fall 62-41. Again, the shooting percentage dropped. Your 3-point, that's something you and I talked about after the game last night. The 3-point percentage went down a little bit for you last night too. Just talk about the Shanley game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one. I mean, I going into that game, I felt like we could go in there and we could compete. Again, on the road, tough place to play, but I really felt good about the game, where we were, how we'd been playing. We come off a win, a road win. We played well up at Red River. We came up short there, but we played well. And I felt like we could go in there and maybe steal one. Me saying that and us doing that, 2 totally different things. We have to go out and play a complete game, and we just didn't have it. We for whatever reason, the ball just would not go in for us. We were 0-10 from 3-point in the first half.
Wow.
We shot sub 30% for the game. There one possession where we had 5 cracks at it, and we just couldn't get it to go in. Talking about getting offensive rebounds, where we did a good job there, but we can't put the ball in the basket.
Get it to fall in.
And the looks that we got, they were good looks, but for whatever reason, we just weren't able to score. And, Shanley went on a big run in the first half, a 15-0 run, and that was the difference in the game. Outside of that 15-0 run, it was an even game. Yep. We were down 19 at half, and, we lose the second half by 2 points. So, if we can survive or not give up that huge run, we find ourselves in the game. So outside of that window, we played kind of the way that I thought we could. We turned them over a bunch of times in the second half, but when you turn them over and you're not shooting well, we weren't able to close the gap. I mean, we went, I think in 10 possessions, we turned them over 8 times, but then we just didn't get anything out of it. And I kept looking at Coach Brewer. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, we're getting all these steals, and I look up at the scoreboard, and we're still down 20. So, it's just one of those games. You're going to have games where you're flat. And we were flat at Shanley, and we hope that's the only one that we're going to have, because that's a team that we're going to see again. And depending on what happens here with the standings, and if we can't move up, that might be a team that we have to play maybe in a play-in game and have to go back to their place if things don't go right here. So it is what it is. We just have to learn from it and move on. And I feel like, in spurts, we did some really good things in that game. You just have to kind of cut out that window where we just couldn't score. But outside of that, defensively, we were able to turn them over. And I think, playing them again, I think our team should play with some confidence in that game, knowing some of the things that we can do.
Yeah, we'll go back, and I want to talk a little bit more in depth about the standings and where they're at right now. But, Coach, let's just take a quick look here. Scout Woods had a great game for you. McKenna Kumo come back and had a good game. She didn't have as many points in the Valley City game, but she came back and got some points for you.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about, Joe. We're talking about, different girls leading on different nights. They just kind of shuffle themselves through. And for us, I don't think it really matters who leads us in scoring. We just know that on whatever night it is, we have a couple of girls that are going to be on, and we just hope that we can get to the point where everybody's on and everything's clicking. We had a little bit of that in the Cheyenne game, first game of the season. Yep. But to have McKenna and Scout lead us last night, the night before you had Emma and Lydia, and we just didn't get the support. We've had a couple girls in double digits, and then we have 3 or 4 that are right close. Well, we only had 1 with 9. So there's a difference, and some of that comes from the way that we shot the ball, not being able to make some of those baskets. But you can see in the stat line, where we fall short when we've had success in the first couple of games.
Yep. All right, so I want to go back now and just take a look quick at the standings, and I know as a coach you don't want to do that too often, but we talked about it with Coach Ralph earlier too. You look right now, and I've got you in 8th place in the EDC at 2-5, but the 3 teams right ahead of you to get into that 5th spot that you're hoping to get to, I mean, you got Fargo South, you played them close. You got Fargo Cheyenne, you lost by 2 on a last-second shot. You got Devils Lake, who you beat. Those 3 teams are right ahead of you in the standings. You just need the right things to fall at the right time.
Yeah, I had said this earlier. I think outside of the top 2 or 3, top 3 we'll say, after that in that middle bunch, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mess at the end of the season. And we're trying to be included in that mess. Right. Because after those top 3, I think anybody can beat anybody. And you've seen that. We've seen that. Yep. North beat Shanley. We beat Devils Lake. We played well at Red River. Red River's undefeated right now. I just feel like if we can find ourselves in that mix, in that middle mix, and stay out of those bottom 3, we can get into the EDC tournament, and then it's about matchups then. Yep. If you could put yourself in the right spot where you're not going to be able to avoid all 3 of those teams that are at the top. But if you can pull the right one, the one that you match up well with, I always say you want to be playing on Saturday in the EDC tournament, and I feel like you get the right matchup, you can put yourself in that position, and then it's whoever wants it more, and that's what we're looking forward to. We're going to try and win some games here and move up in the middle of the pack, and then hopefully we win some tiebreakers towards the end there, and we can put ourselves a little bit higher and get a home playing game, or there's still a huge possibility that we wouldn't have to play a playing game. We could somewhere sneak into that 5th spot. So
Absolutely.
There's a lot of season left and lots of games that we're going to be able to compete in.
So I think things are looking bright for the Lady Huskies too as well. We talked about the boys gelling and getting toward the end of the season here, and we're going to see some positive things. I think the same thing goes for you and the Lady Huskies, Coach.
Yeah, I mean we're right there. We just have to clean some things up defensively, and then we've got to play with confidence. I think sometimes when we go through those lulls, we don't play with the confidence that we need to. I think sometimes we still kind of maybe reverting back to playing against the name that's on the front of the jersey rather than going in and playing the game. And we've got a young team, so you get some of that. So we've got to try and work through that and try and develop into a good basketball team that's able to go out and compete every night. And I think we're taking those steps, and we've seen some success in the games that we've had, even whether we won the game or lost the game. And I think we're at the point now where we kind of know what we have as coaches, and I think the players kind of maybe understand who they are and what their role is, and starting to kind of step into that. And then we've got some younger players who maybe haven't played as much, but I think there's going to be spots for those girls to come in and give us 3-4 minutes, or just play in a situation where I need you to make a shot. I think we might see some of that, and we're just going to have to be one team and try and have everybody do what they do well, and see if we can put ourselves in the right position.
Yep. And coming up now, you got West Fargo on Friday night, and then a makeup game on Monday at Fargo North. Both of those games are away.
Yeah.
And now the schedule, and we talked about it before we went on the air tonight with Coach Ralph. The schedule is questionable for Friday with the weather coming in. Nobody knows what's going to happen yet. No decisions obviously been made.
We might have to reschedule another one here, and I don't really know where we're going to put it. Games they're starting to get crowded. We got 3 games next week. It's just the games start to come fast and furious towards the end of the season, and if we miss any more or have to shuffle them anymore, I don't really know how they're going to fit.
The Central game was rescheduled.
The Central game was rescheduled for the 31st of January. Okay. So again, another game that's got moved, and hopefully
that one's a home game.
That one is a home game, but that game's been moved. That game got moved twice. So like I said, I don't know what we're going to do if we have to try and move another one. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get that game in on Friday.
Does not sound good.
So let's hope that the weatherman. Hutch is wrong, and we'll be able to get that game in on Friday.
All right, Coach. You got anything else you want to share before we wrap this up here after the commercial?
No, I'm just happy with the way that the girls are playing.
I think
so. If you look at our record, you say, well, you only got 2 wins, but we're a much improved team compared to last year. We've got some good pieces. It's just a matter of some of these young girls starting to play with some confidence. I think we saw a little bit of it last night. Of some confidence from a couple of players, and I hope that they can continue to play that way. And if they can, we'll be able to kind of stay in that mix in the middle there.
All right, Coach. We'll be right back here. We're going to talk a little gymnastics. We'll talk a little bit about the Blades girls hockey team as well. And we'll be right back after these messages to wrap it up right here on Three Borders Sports Network.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Three Borders Sports Network, Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications, cable channel 125. You will see it says right on there, 3BSN. How about that? Three Borders Sports Network on channel 125.
Big time.
Man, we are there.
Right?
Right there with all the other sports channels.
We didn't think we would be on TV when we started this thing, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And we'd have an offshoot of a show called Off the Cuff with Raleigh and Julie, and looking for more possibilities that we might be doing some other things too as well. So
we're gonna have to find a way to fit them all in, though.
Yes,
that's the deal. So
the difficult part, I shouldn't say sad part, but the difficult part is we both got other jobs.
Yeah, we got real jobs, and I coach too. So
yeah, and you coach besides
park board, and I mean, there's a lot going on. So
there is. All right, Coach. Again. We want to talk about some of the other things that are going on here. I'd asked Mackenzie Broadland, head coach of the BW Blades girls hockey team, to come in this evening. She had another appointment, and then she asked Alicia Finkrell to come in, assistant coach, and Alicia had other plans this evening, so nobody from the BW Blades hockey girls team could make it in. But they had a nice win last night, Brian, over Aberdeen Central, 9-1. So congratulations to the girls.
Yeah, the girls have been playing well. I mean, we're gonna do their game here coming up. So tomorrow night. So that'll be fun to see them play. We haven't gotten to see them play in person.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I can tell you that right now. So
yeah, I am too. It's going to be fun to watch the girls hockey game, and unfortunately, it's the only one we can slide into the schedule this year. But again, we're looking forward to doing that one. So Mackenzie Broadland and Alicia Finkrell couldn't make it tonight. Again, congratulations to the Blades girls hockey team, 9-1 winners over Aberdeen Central last night. Austin Emdek feeling under the weather today. He texted me right away this morning and said he was not feeling well. Didn't think he would make it in tonight. And I said, that's fine. You just keep that illness to yourself.
Yeah, he can keep that to himself. We don't need any of that over here.
Austin Emdek and the Cowgirls fell to Perham last night. Anxious to get Cameron Kaler back in the lineup. She'll probably be back just in time for your game.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't want to miss that one. That's right. So
coming up in about a week and a half.
Yeah. Only fair though, you know.
Hey, we should mention that too, as long as we're talking about it here. The doubleheader with the Breckenridge Wahpeton game at NDSCS. I think there's a website on Gripper's site there, isn't there? Can you go to Gripper's and get the shirts, the pink?
I know it's posted on Facebook. It's posted on Lady Huskies Facebook page.
Okay, there you go.
It's posted on the Wahpeton Boys Facebook page, and I'm sure it's on the Breckenridge side, but I don't want to say where it is, but I'm sure it's out there on Facebook.
Yep.
And then we will also have a link on our webpage at WahpetonGirlsBasketball.com. We'll get that posted at the top of the page. You can go there and order shirts, and then those shirts will go to the charity where the girls will donate money this year.
Yep, so it'll go to a good cause here, all the proceeds, and again, that's through Gripper Sports, and we want to thank Gripper Sports for being a sponsor with us here at Three Borders Sports Network too as well. Gripper Sports right downtown Dakota Avenue for all your favorite sports teams apparel. Stop and see Gripper and Tyler down there at the store right on Dakota Avenue in downtown Wahpeton. All right, and then last one that I want to mention here, Coach, is Patty Moses and the BW Gymnastics team having a very good season. Patty unable to make it tonight. She's unable to make it tomorrow or next week, but I told her we didn't have one.
Right.
And then she is going to plan, folks. Put it in your calendars right now. If you're a gymnastics fan, you might want to tune in on the 26th because she has committed to being here on the 26th.
There we go. Awesome.
So Patty has got a lot of things going on, and one of them was preventing her to show up tonight, but she is planning on being here on the 26th. So looking forward to that. The BW Gymnastics team having a great season as well. Again, we're not here next week due to the park board. Brian and I are both on the park board, and we'll be at that meeting on Wednesday night next week. So tomorrow night, hockey, and Frazee and the Cowboys play. Raleigh will have that game on our YouTube channel. Brian and I will be on the YouTube channel as well as
125 for the hockey game.
And then Friday, if everything goes well, Raleigh's going to have the Wahpeton boys game on Friday night from Wahpeton High School against West Fargo, and you're on the road. So
we are on the
weather
road.
Permitting.
Yep.
Then we got the weekend off. a rare weekend off, but don't forget we're going to be filming off the cuff here coming up soon.
Yeah, we just got to finalize it, the next Sunday that we're going to start that rolling again, and then after that it'll be every other week.
Correct. All right, then we got a busy week the week after that, but we'll talk about that next week sometime.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Brian and I will see you tomorrow night from Stern Arena. We'll have the girls hockey game from Stern Arena as they take on East Grand Forks. Raleigh will have the Cowboys and Frazee tomorrow night. For Brian Watson, I'm Joe Schreiner. Good night, everybody.